Fans of Marvel Rivals were lucky enough to be treated to a 6-issue comic book run dedicated to complementing the Marvel Rivals game. If you stay until the end, you'll see why Jeff the Landshark is my new favorite hero. So let's just jump straight into it. Let's go. Galacta, a strange daughter of Galactus, sets the stage, narrating the chaos that has engulfed the multiverse. Universes have collided, merging into a tangled time stream that has created new worlds and thrust heroes and villains into unexpected alliances and rivalries. We find ourselves in Tokyo 2099, a neon-soaked city caught in the aftermath of the multiversal rift. Here, the web of life and destiny, a cosmic nexus connecting all spider people, is in critical condition. The damage has brought two key players into conflict, the Master Weaver and his bold apprentice, Spider-Zero. Spider-Zero proposes an audacious plan to integrate the web of life and destiny into cyberspace, claiming it to be the fastest way to repair the damage. However, the Master Weaver warns of the catastrophic risks, insisting they wait to collect enough chronovium to strengthen the web naturally. Their clash in ideology sparks the formation of two opposing teams. On one side stands Spider-Zero, supported by Peni Parker and others drawn to her urgent pragmatism. On the other side, the Master Weaver aligns with Spider-Man, whose traditional approach prioritizes caution and long-term safety. The first skirmishes between the two teams erupt with ferocious intensity. Spider-Man faces off against Venom. Spider-Man quips about Venom's foul breath, while Venom snarls that the Spider-Man of his universe is dead by his own hand. Elsewhere, iconic battles rage. Wolverine claws his way through Thor's lightning. Namor clashes with Captain America in a battle of raw willpower. And Bruce Banner, still in his human form, surprisingly aids Venom by disrupting Spider-Man's web slinging. Luna Snow retaliates with a freezing assault on Banner. Doctor Strange, meanwhile, suffers a brutal strike to the jaw from Iron Fist, while Venom lands a punishing blow on Spider-Man, growling his possessive claim over Peter Parker. Amid the chaos, Peni Parker is hilariously distracted by the adorableness of Jeff the baby Landshark, failing to notice Jeff launching an attack of his own. The emotional stakes escalate when Penny overhears Venom call Spider-Man Parker. Curious, she questions Spider-Man about whether he has a daughter named Penny in his universe. Spider-Man says no, and then Penny reveals that Venom has lost key memories. His earlier boast of killing Spider-Man in his own universe? Nothing but a lie. Spider-Man chastises Penny for being distracted, reminding her they're in the middle of battle. As their verbal sparring continues, Spider-Man questions whether she understands she's fighting for the wrong side. Penny, however, remains steadfast, believing her allegiance is just. Galacta, watching from afar, hints at a deeper emotional revelation. Penny mistakenly believes that Spider-Man is an alternate version of her father. He isn't. But Galacta seems gleefully intrigued about the fallout when the truth emerges. Big emotion time, she declares. The clash reaches a fever pitch as Captain America executes a daring leap from a building, hurling his shield mid-air. Thor channels his lightning into the shield, creating a devastating voltaic attack that electrifies Wolverine, leaving him visibly stunned. Captain America lands in style, declaring, "A true voltaic union." Penny and Venom, observing the synergy between Captain America and Thor, attempt their own combination. They merge their abilities, and Penny unleashes massive symbiotic tentacles, forcing back Captain America, Thor, and Jeff. She escalates further by choking Iron Fist and firing a symbiotic explosive that sends Spider-Man crashing through a building. The resulting collapse buries Captain America, Thor, Jeff, Iron Fist, and Luna Snow beneath the rubble. With the opposition subdued, Penny's team regroups, now consisting of Peni Parker, Venom, Namor, Doctor Strange, Bruce Banner, and Wolverine. They stand united, poised to carry out Spider-Zero's dangerous plan. The battle for the web of life and destiny, and the fate of the multiverse, has only just begun. We pick up right where we left off. Peni Parker and her team have outmaneuvered Spider-Man's squad, trapping them beneath a crumbling building. Now, they're on the move, determined to carry out their mission. Meanwhile, Captain America, Thor, Luna Snow, Iron Fist, and Jeff have managed to dig themselves out of the rubble. Spider-Man, however, is still stuck, frantically searching for a way out. Just as frustration starts to set in, Thor lends a helping hand, Teamwork saves the day. Now free, the team regroups to discuss their next move. Crack down Penny's group and stop them. Iron Fist asks if Jeff can use his tracking abilities to find their trail. Eager as ever, Jeff enthusiastically agrees, but Thor bursts into laughter, doubting the tiny land shark's capabilities. Galactus steps in with a scolding observation. If Thor's goal was to make Jeff feel underappreciated, he's succeeding brilliantly. But Jeff doesn't need Thor's vote of confidence. He's already locked onto Wolverine's unmistakable scent and bounds off to follow the trail. But Captain America and Luna Snow pause when they hear something unusual, a familiar song. It's one of Luna's own tracks from her last platinum album. We cut to Peni Parker's team and surprise, it's Penny blasting the music. She's singing at the top of her lungs, seemingly letting off steam. Galactus watches her curiously, noting the immense pressure on Penny as a teenage leader commanding such a powerhouse squad. Doctor Strange, Venom, and Wolverine, however, are less amused. They insist she turns the music off before it reveals their location. Penny sheepishly apologizes, admitting she couldn't help herself after battling Luna Snow, a star her Aunt May adores. Unfortunately for Penny, the damage is done. Thor arrives in a blinding flash of light, with the rest of the team hot on his heels. Things heat up fast. Bruce Banner locks eyes with Luna Snow. Their last encounter didn't end well for him. An icy blast sent him packing, and he's not one to forgive and forget. Fury takes over as Bruce transforms into the Hulk, charging at Luna with a roar. Luna dodges, and as she's doing so, she calls him Armadeus Chow. Spider-Man, caught mid-battle with Venom, quickly corrects her. That's the wrong Hulk. Hulk smashes through Luna's icy defenses, but before he can strike again, Jeff leaps in for a surprise attack, a water blast. Unfortunately, it barely phases Hulk, who swats Jeff across the battlefield like a fly. Captain America and Thor leap to his defense, shouting, "Hey, that's our teammate!" Meanwhile, Namor catches sight of Jeff being hurled and decides to follow. Penny and Doctor Strange are in hiding, formulating an escape plan. Strange warns that the next portal they step through will require them to stay connected. Losing contact could result in disastrous consequences, possibly even fusing their forms. As the team steps through the portal, Spider-Man, ever resourceful, shoots a web onto Strange's cape, hitching a ride into the unknown. Elsewhere, Namor approaches the disgruntled Jeff. The King of Atlantis is intrigued. In all his time ruling the seas, he's never encountered a creature like Jeff. Why try to fit in? Namor asks, when you can rule instead. Will you join me and rule by my side? Jeff's response? A grin, large, toothy, and unsettling. Galactus sets the stage with an update on the battlefield. Jeff, still reeling after being hammered by the Hulk, has secretly allied with Namor. Meanwhile, Spider-Man has been separated from his team whilst pursuing Peni Parker's squad through a portal, leaving him to face her team solo. The chaos begins with Spider-Man grappling with Wolverine mid-air, as the Hulk, blinded by webbing, swings wildly. In this confusion, the Hulk accidentally lands a powerful hit on Wolverine. Spider-Man quips internally, pretending that he planned it, but his moment of triumph is short-lived as Venom charges in, threatening to consume him whole. Just in time, a blast knocks Venom off of Spider-Man. It's Peni Parker, who declares that Spider-Man's death isn't a part of her plan. Venom, hurled across the battlefield, ends up near Doctor Strange, who is recovering after casting the portal spell. Venom notes that they left Namor behind, but Strange dismisses the concern, urging Venom to rejoin the fray. Venom, however, trusts that Penny can handle things on her own. And Penny doesn't disappoint. She sends Spider-Man crashing through a building, then orders Hulk, Wolverine, Venom, and Strange to stay put while she takes on Spider-Man alone. When the others question her, she firmly reminds them that Spider-Zero put her in charge, and she's done with the interference. Inside the building, Spider-Man struggles out from the rubble. Penny confronts him, dropping a bombshell. She believes he's an alternate version of her father. She exits the SPDR suit to explain that she intentionally led him away from his team, allowing Spider-Man to follow through Doctor Strange's portal and blasting Luna Snow's music as bait, so that they could talk privately. Galactus, who is currently narrating over the events taking place, wastes no time to remind us that Peter Parker is definitely not an alternate version of her father. Spider-Man is stunned, but manages a joke, asking if she's some sort of tactical genius. Penny responds that she learned from the best, prompting both to blurt out names. Spider-Man assumes that she means her version of him, but Penny surprises him by naming Aunt May. In their conversation, Spider-Man reveals that he never knew his father, who passed away before they could meet. Penny shares that she heard that her father was far more stoic, and so they bond briefly, laughing that it must have been an overly chatty spider that bit him. But Penny gets back to business. She questions Spider-Man's allegiance and tries to convince him to join her side. She is devoted to protecting the web of life and destiny after all. When Spider-Man asks why his opinion matters, Penny hesitates. Before they could delve further, Penny ends their talk, quipping, "See you on the other side, Richard Parker," before launching Spider-Man back into the battlefield. Spider-Man lands near Thor, who has finally caught up and is currently strategizing on how to take on the Hulk. He believes he could win one-on-one, however, Thor's confidence wavers as Wolverine, Venom, Doctor Strange, and Penny have also joined the fray. Thor's doubts seem justified, but surprisingly, Galacta finally intervenes. She agrees with Thor, declaring that this fight will be too much for him to handle. In a flash of light, she replaces Thor with someone stronger, Squirrel Girl. With her trademark confidence, Squirrel Girl declares, "I'm here to eat nuts and kick butts, and I'm all out of nuts." Just kidding. I'm never out of nuts. The scene ends with an explosive clash as the battle escalates to new heights. The story kicks off with a tense exchange between the Master Weaver and Spider-Zero, who are assessing the state of the web of life and destiny. The repair process is faltering because chronovium, the essential element for stabilizing the time web, isn't accumulating fast enough. Spider-Zero challenges the Master Weaver, insisting that they don't need chronovium. She argues that once Peni Parker and her team integrate the web into cyberspace, everything will be fine. But the Master Weaver remains skeptical, warning her that they have a rule that still hinges on the chronovium's presence. And yet, chronovium remains elusive, hinting that something far more sinister may be at play. Elsewhere on the battlefield, Iron Fist searches for Jeff, who was separated from the team after being hurled across the battlefield by the Hulk. His search is abruptly interrupted by a surprise attack, a blast from Namor's trident. Despite recognizing Namor's assault, Iron Fist insists that he has no quarrel with the Submariner, but Namor, unfazed, launches another strike. Iron Fist counters with precision, landing a clean hit. Namor, enraged but distracted, is then struck by Jeff, who appears just in time. However, in a surprising twist, Namor and Jeff exchange whispers. Their skirmish was a ruse, part of a larger plan. Namor urges Jeff to proceed with the next phase, leading the team to a predetermined location where they will rendezvous. Jeff and Iron Fist regroup with Captain America and Luna Snow. Jeff's charm is on full display as Luna Snow greets him warmly, even petting him, a light-hearted moment amidst the chaos. Meanwhile, Galacta, who recently swapped Thor out for Squirrel Girl, checks in on her new recruit. Things aren't going smoothly. Spider-Man finds himself taking a pounding from the Hulk. Ever the quipster, Spider-Man remarks on Hulk's signature catchphrase, "Hulk smash," prompting Hulk to retort that Spider-Man's catchphrase is simply "whip." Spider-Man is baffled. He's never said "whip." It's just the sound of his web shooters. On another front, Squirrel Girl faces Wolverine, hurling explosive nuts his way. Unsurprisingly, Wolverine shrugs off the attacks. Cornered and outmatched by Spider-Zero's team, Spider-Man and Squirrel Girl realize they need to coordinate their efforts. In a creative combo move, Squirrel Girl hurls a web-coated nut at the Hulk, which explodes on impact. The battlefield goes silent as the dust clears to reveal Hulk immobilized, encased in a spiderweb cocoon. Spider-Man, emboldened, urges Squirrel Girl to target Venom next, but she playfully reminds him to stay calm as she unleashes a barrage of webbed-up nuts, incapacitating Venom, Wolverine, Peni Parker, and even Doctor Strange. Strange attempts to make a last-ditch escape through a portal, and Spider-Man wants to confront Peni Parker once again. However, due to a lack of time, he and Squirrel Girl withdraw to rejoin the Master Weaver's team. Meanwhile, Galacta narrates Jeff's next steps. He successfully leads the team to the Stark Fujikawa building, where Peni Parker plans to integrate the web of life and destiny into cyberspace. Captain America rallies the group, declaring this is where they'll make their final stand to safeguard the timeline. The group is briefly distracted by a humorous moment as Luna Snow encounters Squirrel Girl for the first time. Teasingly, she mistakes Squirrel Girl for Thor and jokingly asks if she's done something with her hair. Squirrel Girl, uncharacteristically flustered, freezes in place, unable to respond to Luna Snow's quips. Galacta watches the chaotic battlefield below, commenting on the fragile state of the web of life and destiny. She understands why everyone is fighting so desperately, but can't help rolling her eyes at what she sees as just petty concerns. Peni Parker still believes Spider-Man is an alternate version of her father. Namor and Jeff are plotting world domination. And Squirrel Girl, she's just excited about how cool nuts are. All Galacta wants is a good show. On the ground, Squirrel Girl is brimming with confidence. She boasts that the barrier surrounding the Stark Fujikawa building is impenetrable. There's no way Peni Parker's team will be able to infiltrate it to plug the web of life and destiny into cyberspace. Captain America looks less certain, but Spider-Man cracks a joke, wagering his reputation on it. His reputation as a jokester, not as a superhero or a scientist. As if on cue, Peni Parker's team arrives, ready for action. The first strike comes from Doctor Strange, who unleashes his Maelstrom of Madness spell. Behind him, the Hulk supercharges the spell with a Gamma Charge. The result is catastrophic for Spider-Man's team. Luna Snow, Captain America, Iron Fist, and Squirrel Girl are tossed like ragdolls across the battlefield. Even Galacta is impressed, noting that no one seems to be capable of fighting back, except for Jeff. Jeff the Land Shark leaps into action, dousing Strange and Hulk with a massive water attack. Hulk, clearly caught off guard, bellows, "Hulk splashed!" Luna Snow joins the fray, using her chirokinetic powers to transform Jeff's water into ice, forcing Strange and Hulk to retreat. Luna and Jeff then combine their powers to erect an enormous ice wall, creating a barrier between the two teams. Taking advantage of the situation, Spider-Man's team regroups. Iron Fist begins to use an Atlas Bond, channeling his chi into Luna's healing abilities to restore Squirrel Girl. Squirrel Girl, still processing the chaos, reflects on the bizarre nature of the fight. She just hopes there's a reason they were all plucked from their timelines for this mission. Turning to Luna, she quips, "You know that I'm not Thor, right?" Referring to a previous joke Luna made. Luna just laughs, responding with, "I know. Thor has much better hair than you." Spider-Man, ever the opportunist, asks for some healing magic for himself and Captain America. Jeff eagerly obliges, playfully splashing Spider-Man, who recoils in confusion. "Why is your attack and heal the exact same thing?" he asks, baffled. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ice barrier, Peni and her team strategize. They know they need to act fast before their opponents can fully recover. Venom simply suggests injuring Spider-Man again, but Peni already has a plan. The classic fast ball special. She turns to Hulk and asks, "Have you ever heard of it before?" The scene shifts as Hulk grabs a struggling and protesting Venom, preparing to hurl him across the battlefield. Venom, visibly annoyed at being manhandled, demands to be put down. Wolverine, ever the team player, offers to take Venom's place. With a mighty throw, Hulk sends Wolverine flying, but his enthusiasm gets the better of him. Wolverine rockets through the ice barrier, crashes through the Stark Fujikawa building, and bursts out the other side, leaving a gaping hole in his wake. Galacta, delighted by the spectacle, turns her attention to Namor. Hidden away from the battle, Namor and Jeff finalize their secret plans. Namor reveals his true goal, cutting this dimension off from the multiverse by destroying the web of life and destiny. Whoever controls the Chronovium will rule the isolated dimension, and Namor has been hoarding it inside of his trident. Promising Jeff all the sardines he could ever want, Namor leads them both to a massive device. As they prepare to execute their plan, Namor declares, "Once the web is gone, this world is ours." Galacta opens the issue by recounting the chaos on the battlefield, providing us with a vivid overview of the escalating conflict. Peni Parker, working on behalf of Spider-Zero, is focused on plugging the web of life and destiny into cyberspace. Her determination is fueled by her lingering belief that Spider-Man is an alternate version of her father, a belief that remains untrue. Meanwhile, Namor is making his bold play for world domination, joined by his surprising ally, Jeff the Land Shark. Now, Penny's mission takes her to the icy, treacherous Stark Fujikawa building, coated in frost thanks to Luna Snow's powers and her alliance with Jeff. As Penny struggles to scale the towering structure, she finally reaches the top, only to discover a massive machine, the key to completing her mission. To her shock, Jeff has already beaten her to the summit. Despite her surprise, Penny resolves to ignore Jeff and focus on activating the machine. However, her progress is abruptly halted when she's struck by a web. Spider-Man appears, pulling her away from the controls to prevent her from connecting the web of life and destiny to cyberspace. As Spider-Man calls for Jeff's help, Namor unexpectedly arrives on the scene. Even Galactus seems taken aback by his presence. Namor declares his intent to destroy the web of life and destiny, a move that would secure his dominion over this reality, with Jeff at his side. But in a dramatic twist, Jeff reveals he's been deceiving Namor all along. Loyal to his team, Jeff turns on Namor, delivering a decisive blow. Meanwhile, Spider-Man and Penny continue their intense confrontation. Spider-Man warns her that her plan could destabilize the timeline. Penny, torn by her belief in Spider-Man's connection to her father, insists she must proceed. Galactus finds herself debating whether or not Spider-Man should tell her the truth. The right thing to do would be for Spider-Man to tell her that he is not an alternate version of her father, but lying to her may serve the greater good of saving the timeline. Ultimately, Spider-Man decides he can no longer perpetuate the lie. He admits he might be another version of Peni Parker herself, or even her brother from a different reality. The rules of the multiverse can get very confusing. He asks Penny to reconsider her actions and have a conversation instead. Penny, however, makes a bold choice. Exiting her SBDR suit, she slams her fist onto the control panel, activating the machine despite Spider-Man's plea. However, it is far too late. The damage to the timeline appears irreversible as reality begins to unravel. Just as chaos peaks, Jeff takes Namor's trident, which is imbued with chronovium, and leaps headfirst into the wave of energy above the building. A massive energy bolt surges through the scene and strikes the building. Spider-Zero and the Master Weaver observe the aftermath. To their astonishment, the web of life and destiny begins repairing itself through cyberspace. Now strengthened by the chronovium's infusion, this breakthrough reveals possibilities they had never imagined. As the energy subsides, Spider-Man and Penny share a moment of vulnerability. Spider-Man admits he also lost his father at a young age, a bond he and Penny now share. Jeff, meanwhile, approaches Namor with an apology for betraying him. Surprisingly, Namor accepts the gesture, acknowledging Jeff's reasons and granting him his respect. Galactus concludes the tale by noting that while the crisis in Tokyo 2099 has ended, the wider battlefield across the fractured timelines remain in turmoil. Scenes shift to reveal other players in this fractured saga. Hela and Loki are in Ixgard, where Thor was transported to earlier in the story. A host of heroes including Bucky Barnes, Black Panther, Black Widow, Adam Warlock, Star-Lord, Mantis, Groot, Rocket Raccoon, and the Punisher are all facing battles of their own. The issue ends with a jaw-dropping reveal. Doctor Doom and Doom 2099 have been approached by the Fantastic Four, setting the stage for new and thrilling stories in the Marvel Rivals lore. Galactus' final words leave us with the promise of even greater battles and deeper mysteries ahead. And if you like this kind of content, hit the like button, leave a comment down below, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But for the meantime, peace, peace, peace.